I guess I'm curious, as you go along, is this something that at the end of day one, at the end of day two, you're kind of recapping what happened on the day and kind of planning out for the next day? Or does the thought of what the end film is going to be, is that too much of a distraction to sort of being in the moment on the actual days when you're shooting?
Well, so we didn't know what we were going to get, and so bringing cameras into that environment, we didn't know if the sound was going to be all messed up. Given, that was sort of like one of our primary concerns. We didn't know if the cameras were going to shut down all of the emotion that was happening. There was just really no way to anticipate that, even if we had been in there a bunch of times. So I guess part of that meant that in terms of planning the shoot, we had to sort of concoct a couple of backup plans in terms of different narratives that we could tell. And so we shot a ton of more material that's not in the film that was primarily interviews. And so I think we always knew that our hope was that we were going to be able to catch sort of what you see, and we sort of knew what the ebb and flow of that might look like given, our previous experience. But since there was no guarantee we were going to capture that, we like the nights, we shot interviews for a couple of weeks with guys who had participated in the program who are now on the outside, who used to be on the inside. Chris, Brian, and Charles, we sort of followed them around for a couple of weeks before we shot. We shot interviews sort of in the van, and at nighttime we were shooting a bunch of interviews every single night we were there. But once we sort of caught the meat of it, we just realized that we didn't need any of that stuff.
And just to piggyback off that, our experience of the training, we were inside the sound room. So we heard the dialogue, but we did not observe what was happening, visually, right? So a lot of what we had to go, and we didn't really review rushes because we were so busy. So, our thorough sort of review of the footage didn't come till after what we shot. It was more listening to what was happening. But I think that when Dante and Vegas embraced and we heard their heartbeats, right? That was sort of the narration to that almost entire circle. It was when we heard that, then we knew that we had captured something that we could, give it an experience to the audience, pretty much.
Yeah, we knew that if we put 3 individuals from the outside, that we could possibly try and put an audience in one of those chairs. So that they would go and be in the circle together, and so you were occupying a seat and you were there. And Dante was interesting because he wasn't supposed to be in our circle. He just kind of was back and forth and he'd come in and out, and it was his first 4-day, and then he just sat down and just started. And we didn't have a chance to mic him, so we took all the audio from the men around him, and that's why you have the heartbeat.